I've been going to church for 16 years, pretty much my whole life. And along the way I've learned some things and realized things about me and actually got better as a person. So, I'm not trying to force any religion on you. I'm not trying to, tell you to go to church or something, but I just want to share some of the things that I've learned. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy. I just love sharing the things that I've learned along the way of trying to get better as a human, and hopefully I can make you think about something, make you realize, oh, maybe you can do this. And when you do something that I told you and you think about, you actually get better as a person, which will honestly be a dream to me. So if you think that's interesting, if you like the vibe of this video so far, you like the trees, you like the sky, consider subscribing because I post videos like these every single day. But yeah, so I went to church for about 16 years. I'm Orthodox Christian, and just sharing some things that I've learned from going to church every single Sunday. So the first thing I learned from going to church every single Sunday for 16 years, it's to not sleep in, because I remember like a few years ago, I would always just sleep in on Sundays because I was like, oh, I have to go to church again. I don't want to. And I would always sleep in till like 9:30 a.m. My church starts at 10 a.m. So I would literally sleep until the last minute till my mom is literally just shouting at me to get up out of bed to go to church. And I felt so terrible. Like I didn't even want to sleep anymore, but I would just do it in hopes that like maybe we would be late so we can skip a bit or something like that. Yeah, and every time I did it, man, I just felt so horrible. Like I would even sleep in the car on the way, and I'd just be so tired when I would actually be at church. So I feel like it was a really bad way to start my day, just sleeping in. And as soon as I finally just didn't care anymore, like, all right, I don't care. I feel terrible every time I sleep in, so I'm just gonna wake up early or how I normally do. And then as I did that, I actually felt a lot better. It kind of sounds like an obvious thing, but don't sleep in to avoid something that's quite inevitable. Like sleeping in for school or something. Like you're still gonna go to school, so just make the most out of your morning, whether you go to church or go to school, whatever you do. Sometimes church is a little boring and you don't really care about it as much. And especially when I was sleeping in all those times, I would be super sleepy going to church. A lot of times I would just wander off, think about what I'm going to do when I get home, maybe what video game I'm going to play, just thinking about anything I want to do, what exciting thing I can do when I come home from this church. And as time went on, more recently, I've realized that I've actually thought about some really, I don't think deep is the right word, but I was able to think more about the thoughts that I've had. It's kind of like meditation. Like you're trying to think about stuff and then you realize you should be focusing on church, and then you wander off again into church, and then you try to control your thoughts more. And then along with that, church is kind of like meditation. I feel like church is my meditation in a way. So I don't really meditate. I don't really go like, because I meditate every time I pray, I go to church, and as soon as I wander off, think about some bad thoughts or anything, boom, I just snap back right to church. So in a way, it made me more present and made me really think about what I'm thinking about. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So after the church service is over, we kind of wrap up, have a brunch and, eat a little bit, talk and stuff. And then after an hour or two, you leave, and then boom, you're home. Let's go. So what I've learned from those times where we're eating, we're talking, it made me realize how great having a community was. The fact that we all are gathered because we like going to church. It's a perfect way to motivate yourself to do things, whether it's not even church, but anything in life. If you have a community of people who like you and have the same goals as you, same desires, being with them when they uplift you, when they, care for you when you're feeling sad, excite you when you're feeling happy, I guess. So try to get more moments like that. Try to be in communities where that's actually possible. Also, when it wasn't even Sunday, when I had to go to this late service in the night, I don't know what the right word is, but I just feel so fulfilled and so happy and proud of myself that I actually went to church. And with the meditation thing, it just feels like my mind is so much more clear and open. So basically, I just feel amazing after the church service is over. And a way it can apply to you is just, it probably would feel good if you did something that was a little uncomfortable, a little boring, you would probably feel great after you do it. You know, whether it's doing these chores, whether it's doing this one work thing you don't really want to do, whether it's finishing up this homework so your parents don't yell at you. So I hope you can think about this the next time something challenging or hard comes up. Just know, if you stick to it and you actually do it, you're going to feel so proud and amazing about yourself that you actually did it. The next thing I learned from going to church for 16 years is actually a good one, is the amount of wisdom that I've heard at church, whether it's by just the service in general or it's by people that are very wise that go to my church. Whether it's my old Sunday school teacher or the priest, anyone really like that. Anyone who has a ton of experiences in life. And the fact that you're able to talk to them and they're just able to spill all their knowledge, all their wisdom onto you. And, you know, before I was kind of bored of it. Like, I was like, oh, here he goes again talking about a bunch of stuff. But now I'm more open to it because think about it. It's this 50-year-old, 80-year-old guy who's just sharing all the lessons that he's learned from his whole entire life. And he's just passing all of that knowledge, all of that good stuff to you. Think about how valuable that is. So next time, instead of being like, oh, here I go again with my parents telling me a story or something, here I go with this old guy, telling me this, try to be more open to it. Because, maybe he's a little boring or something and he tells stories very slow or something, but the amount of wisdom you can get from that guy who's lived a whole life and is just able to pass it on to you, that's amazing. So really try to be open and basically just talk to old people and try to see what they have to say. Maybe you can get something out of it, which I promise you probably will. The next thing I've learned from going to church for 16 years, which I think is a good one, is about tradition and the amount of respect and value they have to tradition. When I was kind of bored about church a few years ago, I would feel like the traditions that they did were kind of weird, honestly. Or not even the traditions for church, but just traditions in general. Like, I would feel like it's these weird cringe things that aren't really necessary and kind of weird and like, why are we even doing this? I would think of that for so long, and then I went to a wedding one time and I just saw all the traditions that they did, and it honestly just amazed me. It amazed me how people have been doing this for thousands of years, the same traditions in a wedding, and it just made me realize the amount of respect they have for the past generations. And thinking of that made me respect the traditions more. So something I feel like I got out of this was respect the traditions that are in your family or that you have, because those traditions can probably develop you more as a person, and it's just good to have respect for your family because your family is on your side. Your family is trying to help you, but they want you to go to school or college or something. They try to just do the things that will make you live a better life. So have some respect for your family, value your traditions, and I feel like you'll grow and develop yourself a lot more if you do that. So the last thing I learned about going to church for 16 years, which is honestly a really good one, is it made me do bad habits a lot less. A lot less. I don't think I played video games less, but I relapsed a lot less. I, didn't do drugs and stuff. I didn't do a ton of bad habits because I was just going to church every single week. And when you're in church and they talk about like the sins and, the 10 commandments, like all of those things, right? It just made me realize like I shouldn't be doing this. I should not be spending my whole time on screens. I shouldn't even be relapsing. Why am I even doing this? And every time I got an urge to do something like that, I just felt so guilty every time I would do it. Sometimes I will slip up, but I more and more on felt more guilty about the relapsing, the video games I played. I felt like it was kind of disrespectful that I was letting myself do those bad habits. So I honestly feel like it saved me. It saved me from doing so many bad habits. I'd never done drugs or anything like that, even though my parents probably might even think that, 'cause the amount of times I'm going outside doing stuff in my life, I honestly feel like church saved me. I'm not trying to say this in any like way, but I really feel like it made me. No, I don't feel like I know it saved me from doing a lot of bad habits. So try to have something that prevents you from doing bad habits, whether it's by church or just pressure from your family, whether it's, something that can add more friction to actually doing bad habits. So these are the main things I feel like I've learned from going to church for 16 years. There's probably a million little things I've learned everywhere, but I feel like these are the cool things that I've learned and I could think about right now that I just want to share with you. So if you found this video helpful or interesting, consider liking it, consider subscribing, commenting, doing the things to spread around the algorithm so more people who want to listen to this video, want to see the nice, amazing view, can actually see it and maybe even learn something from what I've said. And I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you can think about something that I've said and try to apply it in your own life and see how it goes. Maybe you can even get better because of this video, which will honestly be amazing. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. It's just something that I feel like I really experienced, so I can share it with you 100% authentically, like not trying to copy anyone or anything, just stuff I learned, I've dealt with, I've experienced, sharing it to you. So I hope you got something out of this video. I really hope you did. So yeah, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna maybe eat something nice. And yeah, hope you found this video cool. So yeah, I'll see you later, bro. Peace. Take care.